Repeating, these storms moving extremely quickly. They are moving at 40, 50 miles per hour. That means if a tornado warning is issued, which we now have for northwestern Columbus County and western sections of Bladen County, that you don't have very long to react.
Weekend, and unfortunately, I'm not too happy about the chance of rain, specifically on Friday or Saturday morning, Eric. But
I give her 70-degree temperatures. I give her sunshine all this time, and she's complaining about a little bit of rain, which, by the way, we actually need.
I know.
Yeah, you give us a little bit
Shame
of rain.
on me.
Shame on Kim. That's right.
Just one of the sights you see now when you go to New York.
I bet it's cold there, though. Wouldn't you think it'd be a little chilly to be dropping your pants?
Not really.
No?
No.
Warm there too, huh?
Great pants dropping weather right now in New York City.
You sound like you speak from experience, Eric.
I don't, but I guess if you're going that route, it's not all that bad in New York City. Now, if you're in the western part of the U.S., maybe somewhere like Denver or Minneapolis, you probably don't want to do that. Well, you probably don't want to do it anyway, but you certainly wouldn't want to do it because of the weather. 63 right now in Wilmington, 50. Storm is actually looking more and more. I've been kind of focusing on that storm because it is looking very impressive right now, and it is getting very close to the towns right now of Delway and Harrells. Those towns definitely very much in jeopardy. Look at that hook echo. You can see it very nicely right now showing up on the First Alert Digital Doppler. It's that gate-to-gate shear that we're talking about, and again, this classic inflow notch, which we're seeing, and again, the circulation center right about here, and that's going to look at that on velocity. It's really showing up very, very nicely. You've got the greens, one direction for the radar, the reds, the other direction for the radar. That's the gate-to-gate shear that we're talking about, and this is getting ready to cross Highway 421 right in the vicinity of Delway and Harrell. So again, this is in Sampson County that we're talking about. Very likely a tornado. It's certainly very strong indications of it on the Doppler radar. I haven't seen any confirmed reports of it on the ground, but it would not shock me at all. And again, if you are in the towns of Delway and Harrells, you need to take cover right now because this possible tornado will be crossing right over Highway 421. And Conway should probably do a storm track on this particular cell because I'm really getting concerned about it because the shears are just, again, a very impressive looking storm. We've seen this quite a bit today, too many times. And again, as we said, Delway, it's literally right on top of you. But if this circulation cell holds together, and you can see that classic hook echo, it's really showing up right now very nicely. It's going to be moving up into Duplin County, right in the vicinity of Magnolia, and possibly up around the Kenansville area and Beulaville area. Once again, probably more northern Duplin County, probably a little more in jeopardy with this particular cell. But again, southern Sampson County, and again, this one has got the potential also to cross Interstate 40 if it holds together. But very, very strong signatures with that particular cell. Fayetteville. But notice the temperatures get a lot colder as you head closer to the beach, and there's a good reason for that. It's because of the colder water temperatures. Remember, the water temperatures, even though the air temperatures have been running in the 80s, especially away from the coast, the water temperatures still running in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. So what this is doing, it's setting up a sea breeze boundary. We've kind of drawn this in for you. And again, along the beaches the next couple of days, the last couple of days, and for the next couple of days, highs have been running mostly in the 70s, but even some 60s for highs because of the very cold water. Whereas you move on the other side of the sea breeze boundary, and that's the case at the airport. Remember, the Wilmington Airport is right here over in western sections of New Hanover.
Eric Davis with your First Alert weather.
Welcome back. One of the big topics of conversation on our WECT Facebook page today has been the fact that it's been very smoky across New Hanover County. You've probably noticed it the last couple of days. Let me explain what's going on right now. This is a map of Brunswick County right here. This is kind of the general vicinity of where the Orton Plantation is. This is Highway 133. So again, this is the Cape Fear River. This is Brunswick County. And what we have going on right now are controlled burns across Brunswick County, particularly in the vicinity of the Orton Plantation. Now, as we widen out the map, what we're seeing today, of course, southwesterly winds, and at times we've been seeing these winds gusting over 20 miles per hour. So what's happening basically is all this smoke being generated by these controlled burns over Brunswick County. That smoke is being brought right into New Hanover County. We've had lots of reports of smoke in the Monkey Junction area. We've had reports of smoke up around Riceville Beach. And
Weather.
Of course, with a very active weather pattern, we're always very happy to see your pictures and videos here at WECT.com, and we've got a great way for you to share your videos with us. You can submit them to pics@WECT.com, and this is a great picture that we got yesterday. Sorry we didn't get a name on this one. This was actually under analysis, but a great shot in Whiteville yesterday of some very dark clouds making their way. It looks like almost some shelf clouds showing up here in Whiteville yesterday, and we might see similar scenes, it looks like, later on this afternoon into the evening hours, as we do expect another round of very strong thunderstorms moving across the area. I don't think this is the type of setup where we would see tornadoes or any funnel clouds necessarily touching down from this, but still, you want to watch the sky very closely because I do think some of the thunderstorms that develop later today could be capable of generating some damaging straight line winds, maybe in excess of 60 miles per hour, and also they could be dumping some very heavy rainfall. So be on the watch out for some dark clouds later today. And another great way you can keep up with the weather is with the WECT weather app. You can download it right now for your iPhone or your Android device, and you can see that thunderstorm chances are expected to ramp up later on this afternoon, especially maybe by 4 or 5 p.m. Temperatures probably topping out in the upper 80s, but it's going to feel very hot, especially where we have sunshine. Humidity levels are through the roof. So even though highs today may be in the upper 80s, we could still be talking about heat index values very close to 100 degrees later today. So if you are out in the sun, make sure you're taking it easy and make sure also you're drinking lots of water. And in addition, as we talked about, another round of strong to severe thunderstorms, especially late this afternoon into this evening. And the Storm Prediction Center has outlined this orange color for much of southeastern North Carolina, a slight risk of severe weather. And again, the primary concern is going to be that some of these thunderstorms could generate some damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, maybe even a small threat of some hail. So we'll have to watch that very closely. Heading into the weekend, you would hope, of course, with the weekend coming up that we would be able to dial down the chances of showers and thunderstorms. Well, I'm afraid we may be talking about the opposite now, with an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms, maybe even becoming very widespread for much of Saturday, and maybe even more so now as we head towards Sunday. Look at that. We've got thunderstorm chances now in the 60 to 70% range, and a lot of the computer models are now suggesting that a lot of southeastern North Carolina could be in line for as much as 3 to 4 inches of rain widespread. Looks like the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge is down now, so the traffic is moving along. 85 degrees, humidity levels through the roof, 72%, south wind at about 13 miles per hour, and plenty of warm temperatures across the state. 88 Raleigh, 86 degrees in Greensboro. Boone looks pretty good right now at 76 degrees. But here's the weather pattern we've been talking about. Trough developing back towards the west, and we have a big plume right now of deep tropical moisture feeding right into southeastern North Carolina. That is going to help to fuel some of the showers and thunderstorms that we're going to be seeing. And our hour-by-hour forecast model showing the storms beginning to develop back west of I-95 by about 4 p.m. and then moving into southeastern North Carolina during the evening hours. So I think the prime time for the thunderstorms here in southeastern North Carolina will be probably between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. this evening. Showers and storms, especially late this afternoon near I-95, 88 for the high. Tonight, 75. I think that may be the prime time for thunderstorms near the coast. And the First Alert Planning forecast, here we go. 88 for your high for Saturday, and also 86 degrees on Sunday. Look at that. We've now upped the chance of rain on Sunday to 90%. How about that 4th of July forecast? Well, it looks like we've got the thunderstorm chance down to 30%, so maybe finally some improvement for the 4th. Bob?
Eric, thanks very much. Eric, you know when the
And of course, here at WECT, we've got lots of tools to keep you ahead of the storm. One of the big tools we recommend is the First Alert weather app. You can get it right now for your iPhone or Android device. Simply go to Google Play or iTunes, and you can download this First Alert weather app. You can get lots of great tools like this hour-by-hour forecast, which shows the chances of showers and thunderstorms ramping up over the next couple of hours. We've also got radar on the First Alert weather app, and we also have webcasts from our First Alert meteorologists to keep you ahead of the storm, to keep you informed about the latest on what Tropical Storm Andrea is going to affect us here in southeastern North Carolina. We also want to break down exactly what we are going to expect here as we head through the rest of the evening and into the overnight hours. We've got a nice map here to kind of show you what's going to be happening here. First of all, the threat assessment for New Hanover County. Gusty winds, maybe up to 40 to 50 mile per hour. 3 to 5 inches of rain, maybe some isolated totals a little bit higher than that. And there's also the threat of some isolated tornadoes as well. Pender County, maybe some gusts, particularly along the coast, 45 to 50 miles per hour. Again, 3 to 5 inches of rain, isolated tornadoes. Brunswick County, basically the same. Gusty winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour. The threat assessment is basically the same everywhere, except maybe back in Bladen and Columbus County, where the wind gusts may be just a little bit lighter because you're not near the coast. But even here, a tropical storm force wind gust is possible, 3 to 6 inches of rain, and maybe the threat of some isolated small tornadoes. That tornado threat going to be highest late tonight and into tomorrow morning. As we take a look at the First Alert digital Doppler, some pretty heavy rain west of I-95 and also as you move up into Duplin County. But by and large, much of southeastern North Carolina escaping the heavy rain. But Gannon, I still think there is a potential for some heavy rain later tonight. Why don't you explain why?
Yeah, Eric, especially in some of those feeder bands on the east side of this tropical system. Again, it's churning into North Florida now, and this is one thing that we as forecasters have been really celebrating if we pick our victories here. Sometimes the tracks of these things are a little bit dicier, but models like our in-house computer model, our hour-by-hour forecast model, have been all over it from the beginning. So basically, you pick out this bullseye here over North Florida in the pressure field. That is where Andrea is right now, and through 7 p.m. just about the same. Then you look at the colors you're used to seeing, and those are the localized areas of heavier rain, especially in the cases of the orange and the yellow. And you can see with our positioning here between 11 p.m. and then 7 a.m. tomorrow, the center of Andrea in the circles makes its way up the general I-95 corridor, and then we're positioned vulnerably here on the east side of the track. So we'll get bands of locally heavy rain. Maybe some places miss them, but some places will certainly get these bands of heavy rain coming in from the Atlantic. And also, as Eric mentioned, an isolated tornado threat present with some of those bands. Then between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., nice progress here from Andrea to the northeast. We'll see it exit the region. And Eric, as you're going to get to in the forecast, we can't say that we're going to dry out completely for Friday evening, Friday night, and the weekend because it's summertime. We'll still have humidity, but I think we're going to get back to a situation where we'll have more sporadic showers instead of a widespread deal. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the more classic pattern that we'd see during the early part of June again. Yeah, once the system passes by. And thankfully, it is moving pretty quickly, as you just showed us a few minutes ago. But no doubt about it, rain, thunderstorms, winds increasing as we head for the rest of tonight. 72, some of those tropical bands could put down a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain in a short period of time. So flood watches are in effect, and we may see some flood warnings issued as we head towards the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, particularly during the morning, stormy with that isolated tornado threat. Heaviest rains also falling during the morning, a high of 82, and the winds will start to increase as well. We'll probably start to see those tropical storm force gusts tomorrow morning, and those could continue actually for much of the day. I think the rain will exit a little bit quicker than some of the winds will. By tomorrow evening, I think most of the winds will begin to die down as well, and we should see some big improvements. 72 tonight in Southport. Your first alert planning forecast. 82 for tomorrow, and then you're right, Gannett, right back to the classic summer pattern with high temperatures around 87 degrees on both Saturday and Sunday. Just the afternoon garden variety showers and thunderstorms, and really it's going to be that typical early June pattern really for much of next week. Fran?
All right, begins today in Chadburn in Columbus County. Let's check back in with Eric Davis. He is live out there this morning for our weather on the 6s. Eric?
Yeah, Kev, I know we've had a lot of questions about some of the specific things going on at the Strawberry Festival, and I've got just the person to help answer those questions. And that person, Deb Wilson, who's the president of the Strawberry Festival. She's going to tell us all about the events going on this weekend. Now, of course, we all know about strawberries, Strawberry Festival, hot air balloons going on behind us, but there's a lot more to the Strawberry Festival. Why don't you tell us about some of the other big events going on this weekend?
Right. Well, starting in the morning, we're registering for the antique car show and the bike show. And then we have an excellent lineup of entertainment that will start at 9:30 in the morning and run all the way through 9:30 at night. And, of course, the Strawberry Festival Parade that starts at 2 o'clock. There's just really a lot of something for everybody. We'll have, I understand we're going to have lawnmower races, lots of things for the kids to do, some pony rides. And the weather's going to be great. So everybody just come on out and enjoy it. We'd love to see you. And Eric, we got you all some fresh strawberries right here in Chadburn.
Fresh strawberries, gotta love that. Especially gotta love the fresh fruit, the local fruit too, with all those high prices at the grocery store. One other question here: how many balloons are we gonna have out here this weekend?
I think we have about 26, and there are excursion rides available. Those are by appointment, of course, and then they'll be offering tethered rides, the weather permitting. Of course, yeah.
That means pressure on me. I think.
It's oceans and waterways. You know, I didn't realize this. They cover more than 70% of the surface of the Earth.
Yes, but despite all of that room, First Alert meteorologist Eric Davis explains why many species of fish are or could be endangered in tonight's special report.
Overfishing is a growing problem that will continue to have a profound impact on both the economic and environmental health along coastal sections of southeastern North Carolina in the years ahead. Overfishing is defined as catching fish and other seafood at a faster pace than the natural replacement rate. Already, the decline of many fish species has cost many Atlantic coastal communities hundreds of millions of dollars and untold environmental damage. One example of a species that has been decimated by overfishing is the red snapper. In recent years, the population has decreased to only 12.5% of a safe level. With the exception of 1 week last September, the federal fisheries have prohibited red snapper harvest since January 2010. The hope from fisheries managers is that the red snapper population will grow back to sustainable levels in the years ahead. Without fishing ban, officials fear the red snapper could suffer the same fate as northern cod, which abruptly collapsed in 1992. To this day, northern cod has not recovered from its collapse, and many New England fishing communities were decimated as a result. Many fishermen, such as Captain Robert Schoonmaker of Carolina Explorer, have mixed feelings about fishing regulations.
The reason I support fishing limits is to help the population. Certain fish are stressed and they need to be able to recover. And then sometimes the science might not be as good as we'd hope, and we see fish that are overregulated when there's plenty of them out there still swimming around.
Schoonmaker cites black sea bass and gray trout as species that are overregulated. He also says fishing limits impact his bottom line and the bottom line of commercial fishermen.
Fishing limits, I know fishing limits impact my bottom line. I take people fishing for a living, so the less amount of fish they can keep, sometimes they're reluctant to come back. You know, they want to be able to take home a cooler full of fish. So it affects my bottom line as well as it does with the commercial fishing, because it basically relates to how many pounds of fish you can bring in, equates to what you make at the end of the trip.
Steve Wyndham is a former chairman of the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission, a body that regulates freshwater fishing in North Carolina. He explains why he thinks regulation is more important than ever.
When you have more and more people seeking the recreation of fishing and an infinite or a limited amount of resource, then you have to guard that resource by setting size limits, manner of take meaning, are you doing it hook and line or by a net or bow net, and different things like that.
Wyndham cites a regulation success story in the form of the striped bass, along with another step his former commission has taken to help repopulate the species.
What we've done with striped bass in the Roanoke River Basin, what we're doing with striped bass in our own Cape Fear River right now. The Wildlife Resources Commission is stocking over 100,000 fish a year into the Cape Fear River to reestablish the striped bass that was overfished by nets, by hook and line, just overfished.
The good news is most fish species are still doing well. However, most agree if future generations want to enjoy a wide variety of freshwater and saltwater fish, steps must be taken to limit the catch. I'm Eric Davis for Fox Wilmington.
And for more in-depth coverage on the topic of overfishing, we have posted extended interviews with both Captain Schoonmaker and Mr. Wyndham.
Yeah, you can find them right now on foxwilmington.com. As